Now let us find the DTFT of rectangular pulse. Rectangular pulse is defined as x of n is equals to 1 for mod n less than or equal to n1 and 0 otherwise. So this definition of x of n I am going to substitute in the analysis equation. So this is my rectangular pulse. It is 1 and this is, let me say, this is my n1. All these are impulses, right? The values in the amplitude is 1. This is what my definition is for my rectangular pulse. So after substituting it here, since x of n is only defined for mod n less than or equal to -1, that means from minus n1 to plus 1 only it is defined. So minus infinite to infinite, I am replacing it with minus n1 to plus n1. In that region my x of n is 1, so x of n is 1 into e power minus j omega n. Now I am taking n plus n1 is equals to m. I am changing my variable from n to m such that m is equals to n plus n1. So what happens now? So here when n is equals to minus n1, in place of n if I substitute minus n1, m becomes 0. So my lower limit for m is 0. And my upper limit will become n1 plus n1, that is 2n1. And in this expression of exponential e power minus j omega, in place of n I'm going to substitute m minus n1. Now this term I'm going to separate it. I'm going to make it two terms, e power minus j omega m into e power j omega n1. Since e power j omega n1 is a constant, it does not involve m term, it is a constant. So I can get it outside. And this is what is left. M is equals to 0 to 2n1 e power minus j omega m. Now I am writing this. I'm writing the upper limit 2n1 as 2n1 plus 1 minus 1, right? I'm writing it like this, and e power minus j omega whole power m. So what happens here? So this is the other formulas. So far we have used the formula summation n equals to 0 to infinity r power n, right? Now we are using a different formula. N is equals to 0 to n minus 1 r power n. So when your left hand side is like this, it is equivalent to 1 minus r power capital N, which is the upper limit, right? N minus 1 is my upper limit. This is capital N divided by 1 minus r, and this is the condition. Mod r is less than 1. We know mod e power minus j omega is definitely less than 1, right? So what I can write now, my x of e power j omega is going to be e power j omega n1. This is the constant, and this term can be written as 1 minus e power minus j omega power capital N, that is capital N is nothing but 2n1 plus 1 divided by 1 minus r, 1 minus e power minus j omega, right? Then I am going to simplify this. I am simplifying it. So when I simplify it, this is my final expression. So for a rectangular function, right? For a rectangular function of length, what is the length we have considered? From minus n1 till n1, right? This is the rectangular pulse we have considered, minus n1 till n1. So the length is going to be from here till here. For this part the length is n1, and for the list part length is n1. So 2n1, and there is an impulse at 0 also. There's an impulse at 0. So this is the length of my rectangular pulse. So rectangular pulse of length 2n1 plus 1. So these many impulses, 2n1 plus 1 impulses, are there in my rectangular pulse. That is the meaning of this. For that, the DTFT is going to be sine omega into n1 plus half, sine omega into n1 plus half divided by sine omega by 2. When n1 is equals to 2, what happens when n1 is equals to 2? There are 5 impulses, right? There are 5 impulses, 2 into 2 plus 1, so 5 impulses. So this is how my function looks like, and the DTFT is going to be sine 2 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 5 by 2. So sine 5 by 2 omega divided by sine omega by 2. So if I substitute a few values for omega, I'll substitute omega equals to 0, and then omega is equals to pi, and then omega is equals to pi by 2. I can substitute a few values like this, and then this is how my DTFT or the spectrum looks like. This is how my magnitude spectrum looks like. Since there is no imaginary term here, this is the same as the magnitude of x of e power j omega. So for a rectangular function, this is how my DTFT looks like. Okay. And the next problem is DTFT of unit step function. For unit step function, this is my unit step function, u of n. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as a sum of two different functions. Sum of two different functions. So I'm taking a function like this, f of n. F of n is equals to half for any n, and g of n is half for n greater than or equal to 0, and negative half for n less than 0. If you add these two terms, f of n and g of n, we will get u of n. See, at 0, what happens? I have half plus half, that is 1. For all positive values of n, I have half here and half here. So half plus half is 1. For all negative values of n, I have half here, and here I have negative half. So 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is equals to 0. All negative values are 0. So u of n, I'm going to write it as two different functions. So if I have to find the DTFT of u of n, it is nothing but DTFT of f of n plus DTFT of g of n, right? So DTFT of u of n is nothing but DTFT of the f of n and DTFT of g of n. So we'll find these two DTFTs separately and then add them. So f of n, we know what is the DTFT of 1. It is 2 pi into delta 2 pi of omega, right? If we take the impulse if we take an impulse train with period 2 pi and strength 2 pi, the inverse DTFT of that impulse train is going to be 1, right? Now for half, now both sides I will divide by 2. So 1 by 2 has the DTFT pi into delta 2 pi of omega. So my f of e power j omega I have found out, right? Now I have to find g of e power j omega. So how can I find g of e power j omega? So g of n is this one. So I am going to find out g of n minus 1. N minus 1 means I am just shifting my g of n to the right by 1 unit, right? This is 0, this is 1, 2. Now what happens? This is 0, this is 1 and this is 2, right? I'm going to just shift it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a difference of g of n and g of n minus 1. So g of n minus g of n minus 1. So it looked like a impulse, right? At 0 I have half here and negative half here. So 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 minus minus 1 by 2. That is nothing but 1. For every other value of n, if I subtract g of n minus g of n minus 1, I'll get 0. Right? So this is nothing but my this is nothing but my impulse function delta of n. So if I subtract g of n minus g of n minus 1, I'll have impulse function del of n. Now, if you remember, we have proved a property called differencing property. What do we have from differencing property? G of n minus g of n minus 1 will have the dtft 1 minus e power minus j omega into g of e power j omega, right? N. What is g of n minus g of n minus 1? It is del of n. So what is, if I take dtft on both sides, on the left hand side I'll have 1 minus e power minus j omega into g of j omega, g of e power j omega. On the right hand side, dtft of delta of n. dtft of delta of n is 1. Now g of e power j omega is going to be 1 by 1 minus e power j omega. So I'll just add these two dtfts to obtain the dtft of u of n. That is my final answer. That is my final answer. Now we'll find dtft of sinusoidal functions. So this is one sinusoidal function cos omega naught n. I'm going to write it in the form of complex exponentials, right? We know the dtft of 1 is 2 pi and impulse train with the strength 2 pi, right? We have already proved this. Now dtft of e power j omega naught n. Now I have to apply frequency shifting, right? I have to apply frequency shifting. So if I have a phase shift in my time domain signal, then there will be a shift in the frequency. In place of omega, I'll have omega minus omega naught. And similarly, when I have negative omega naught, here I'll have omega plus omega naught. So I'm going to add these two, right? I will add these two dtfts. I'll get the dtft of cos. So this is my dtft of cos omega naught n. Similarly, I can find dtft of sine. There will be a j term here, right? Because of sine, right? Sine means I'll write 1 by 2j, right? So that is why there's a j term. Everything else is similar. This is how I'll find dtft of sinusoidal functions. Now find the dtft of delta of n minus 2 plus delta of n minus 1. Now we know dtft of delta of n is 1. Then if I apply time shifting, delta of n minus m will have dtft of e power minus j omega m, right? Or n minus n naught will have e power minus j omega n naught. Now in place of n naught, I'll substitute 2 and minus 2 separately. If I substitute n naught equals to 2, this is what I'll get. For n naught equal to minus 2, I'll get e power 2j omega. So dtft of this whole function is nothing but dtft of delta of n minus 2 plus dtft of delta of n plus 2. So I'll add the individual dtfts. Now what is this? This is equals to 2 cos 2 omega. This is equals to 2 cos 2 omega. So that is how I can find the DTFT of the given function del of n minus 2 plus del of n plus 2. So let us try another problem. So this is my x of n. So I'll write it here. So the x of n, it is defined as at n equals to 0, the value is 2. N equal to 0, it is 2. For n is equal to minus 1, it is 1. N is equal to minus 1, it is 1. And n is equal to 1, it is negative 1. Negative 1 for n is equals to 1. And n is equals to 2, it is 1. N is equals to 2, it is 1. This is my function. All other values, it is 0. Right? All other values, it is 0. So let me write this in terms of impulses. So what will happen? My x of n is equal to I have an impulse at n is equal to minus 1. So delta of n plus 1, right? And its strength is 1. So 1 plus I have an impulse at 0, n equals to 0. So delta of n, and its strength is 2. Then I have an impulse at n is equals to plus 1. So delta of n minus 1, and its strength is negative 1. So minus. And at last I have one more impulse with strength 1. Right? Now I need to find my x of e power j omega. So I'll take DTFT on both sides. It is nothing but summation of individual DTFTs. So what will happen for the first one? What is the DTFT? It is e power j omega plus 2 into 1 minus e power minus j omega plus e power minus j 2 omega. Right? These two I can combine and write it as 2 cos omega plus 2 plus e power minus j 2 omega. This is my final answer. So that is how I can find the DTFT of a function when it is given in a mathematical form. I can write my given function in terms of impulses, and then I can find the individual DTFTs. Now, this is an application of convolution theorem. This is the application of convolution property. So I am asked to find the convolution of x1 and x2. Convolution of x1 and x2. So from convolution property, what do we have? Convolution of x1 with x2. We will have the DTFT. X1 of e power j omega into x2 of e power j omega, right? Now my x1 of n is equals to 1 1 1, right? So that means at n equals to 0, there is no arrow specified here, right? That means the first term indicates n is equals to 0 term, right? N is equals to 0, so it looks like this. At n is equals to 0, at n is equals to 1, and n is equals to 2, right? 0, 1, and 2. This is my x of n, x1 of n. So I can write it as delta of n plus delta of n minus 1, right? It is just 3 impulses, right? It is just 3 impulses at n is equals to 1, n is equals to 0, and n is equals to 2. Now if I take dtft on both sides, if I take dtft on both sides, dtft, it is going to be x1 of e power j omega, x1 of e power j omega, that is equals to delta dtft of delta of n is 1 plus dtft of delta of n minus 1, it is e power minus j omega, and here it is e power minus j 2 omega. Since x1 is equals to x2, my x2 will also be equal to the same thing, right? X2 will also be equal to the same thing. So what will happen to x1 of e power j omega into x2 of e power j omega, right? So that is equals to this term that is x1 of e power j omega multiplied by itself, 1 plus e power minus j omega plus e power minus j 2 omega, right? So what happens to my x1 into x2? x1 into x2 will become 1 into 1, right? This is what I will get. So 1 into this entire thing. Now e power minus j omega into the entire term. So e power minus j omega plus e power minus j 2 omega plus e power minus j 2 omega and omega, j 3 omega, and plus now e power j 2 omega into the entire term. So e power minus j 2 omega plus e power minus j 3 omega plus e power minus j 4 omega, e power minus j 4 omega. So simplifying this, I have 1 plus e power minus j omega and e power minus j omega. So 2 e power minus j omega, right? And then 3 e power minus j 2 omega, and how many 3 omegas I have? I have 2 3 omegas, right? So 2 e power minus j 3 omega plus e power minus j 4 omega. So this is my x of e power j omega, right? This is my x of e power j omega. This is nothing but x of e power j omega here on my right hand side, and this is nothing but x of n, right? Now I have found out my x of e power j omega. I just have to find out x of n. So what I'll do, I'll take inverse dt ft, inverse dt ft. So what is my x of n? X of n is going to be delta of n plus 2 into delta of n minus 1, right, plus 3 into delta of n minus 2 plus 2 into delta of n minus 3 plus delta of n minus 4, So if I write this, if I draw this, I will have a delta of n. Delta of n is nothing but this with amplitude 1. N minus 1 is somewhere is at n equals to 1. So this has an amplitude 2. N minus 2, at 2 I have amplitude 3. At 2 I have amplitude 3, and at 3 I have amplitude 2, and at 4 I have amplitude 1, right? So what is my x of n? X of n is nothing but the convolution of the two sequences x1 and x2. So my x of n, which is nothing but the convolution of x1 and x2, is nothing but at 0 I have 1, then 2, 3, 2, 1. So this is the convolution of two sequences using DTFT. You can find the convolution of these two sequences using the matrix form which we discussed in the first unit, right? Matrix form, and then verify if our answer is right. So 1, 1, 1, and here I have 1, 1, 1, the two signals, right? Now I'm going to multiply 1 with these three numbers, and then again and again. Now I'll draw the lines like this and then add. The first term is 1, the second term is 2, the third term is 3, and then I have 2, and then finally I have 1. That is my final answer. So this is for verification. What we have done is right or not. And then so far we have done DTFTs. Now we'll try to find the inverse DTFT of the given question, given problem. So my x of e power j omega is given as 1 by 1 minus a into e power minus j omega whole square. Now we have to find the inverse DTFT of this function. Now the standard formula, standard for DTFT pair, we have a power n into u of n with DTFT of 1 by 1 minus a into e power minus j omega. Now we'll try and differentiate the frequency domain here. Frequency differentiation. Using frequency differentiation, what do we have? N into x of n will have DTFT j into d by d omega of x of e power j omega. So on the left hand side, I'll just multiply my x of n with n. So n into a power n into u of n. And on the right hand side, I'll take differentiation with respect to omega and multiply with j. Right? Differentiation with respect to omega and multiply with j. So if I take with respect to omega, I'll have in the denominator 1 minus a into e power minus j omega whole square. And then in the numerator, okay, this is u by v. So differentiation will be equals to v square v du minus u dv, right? U dv. Now v is 1 minus a into e power minus j omega, and du, differentiation of 1 is going to be 0. So this term goes to 0, and I have negative u is 1 and differentiation of my denominator. If I differentiate the denominator, it's going to be minus a into e power minus j omega into minus j. So here I will simplify this. J n minus j is going to become 1, and I have, and this minus and minus gets cancelled. So I have a into e power minus j omega divided by 1 minus a into e power minus j omega. This a here, I am taking it to the other side. So divided by a on my left hand side. So this is the, so far we have found out this DTFT pair. Now I am going to apply time shifting, right? I am going to apply time shifting with m is equals to minus 1. So what will happen? In place of n, I am going to substitute n plus 1. In place of n, I am going to substitute n plus 1 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side, I am going to multiply the entire expression with e power j omega, right? E power j omega. That is with time shifting. Now, so this gets cancelled. I have 1 here. So that is my x of e power j omega, 1 by 1 minus a into e power minus j omega whole square. And here, this is my corresponding inverse DTFT on my left hand side. So a into, here I can cancel 1a, right? Instead of a power n plus 1, now I can write as a power n. So this is my final answer. This is how I can find DTFT. We can do the same thing using the synthesis equation or the inverse DTFT expression, but it's going to be complicated. So we'll use properties to find the inverse DTFT here. And then determine the, this is the last problem we're going to look at. Determine the output sequence from the output spectrum y of e power j omega. Y of e power j omega is given. I have to find the output sequence. That means I have to find y of t. I have to find y of t. So first, what I'm going to do, the y of e power j omega, I'm going to separate them, right? I'm going to separate them 1 by 3 into, sorry, 1 by 3 into, the first term is going to be e power j omega divided by 1 by a e power minus j omega. The second term is going to be 1 by 1 minus a e power minus j omega, and the third term is going to be e power j omega divided by 1 minus a e power minus j omega, right? I have written the given expression in 3 terms. So now I'll take inverse DTFT on both sides, inverse DTFT. So on the left hand side I have y of t, right? That is my inverse DTFT, and here 1 by 3. If you look at this, I can apply inverse DTFT for each term separately and then add, as simple as that. So I have 3 terms here. If you remember, what is the inverse DTFT of this? What is the standard pair we have? A power n u of n. What is the DTFT? A power n u of n. DTFT is 1 by 1 minus a e power minus j omega, right? This is the standard pair. So 1 by 1 minus a e power minus j omega. The second term here is the standard term. So what is the inverse DTFT of the second term? It is a power n into u of n. Now if I apply time shifting, the left term will become a power n minus m into u of n minus m, and my right side term is going to become e power minus j omega m divided by 1 minus a e power minus j omega, right? Now for the first term, I should substitute value of m is equals to minus 1. If I substitute m is equals to minus 1, I'll have a power n plus 1, right? Let me take a different color and write m is equals to minus 1. What will happen? A power n plus 1 into u of n plus 1, and the DTFT is going to be e power j omega by 1 minus a e power minus j omega. That is nothing but my first term. So instead of DTFT of e power j omega divided by 1 minus a e power minus j omega, I can write a power n plus 1 into u of n plus 1. Now if I put m is equal to plus 1, what will happen? This will become minus, this is going to become minus, and I'll have a negative sign here. So that is nothing but my third term. So a power n minus 1 into u of n minus 1. So this is my inverse DTFT. This is the inverse DTFT. So this is how we'll use the properties of DTFT and the analysis and synthesis equations to find DTFT of any given sequence, or the inverse DTFT of any given spectrum, right? So that is the end of unit 3.